Welcome, guys. I am so excited to teach a Yin class today. Yin is one of my favorite things to get into. It's totally my jam right now. For you very fiery yogis, or for you yogis that actually don't need a fiery practice and just kind of want to relax, Yin is the place to be. So in a Yin practice, the way that I teach this is working with myofascial lines and meridians through traditional Chinese medicine. We sit into a pose for 3 to 4 minutes, maybe sometimes 6 minutes, and just allow ourselves to settle in with the first couple of breaths, and then just to arrive and let go. Let go of expectation, let go of needing to perfect, let go of needing to hear me speaking as well, and just allow yourself to be present. So when we drop into those spaces, there will be moments where I do not speak. I get you into the pose, I give you the cueing that allows you to get there safely, and then I allow you to kind of see what comes up. So just begin to acknowledge which sensations come up, which thought patterns come up in the mind. Focus on your breath, equal inhalations and exhales through the nostrils, and allow yourself to be grounded, to be present, to be open, and also to be vulnerable to maybe what comes up, because Yin can be very healing, and it can also bring up some things, frustrations and anxieties in the physical body as well as the mental. And I'm going to dedicate this practice to my lovely family over at the New Life Foundation in Thailand. I had a lot of male students over there when I was teaching at the recovery center that begged me for some Yin Yoga because their bodies were super, super tight. And so this practice is really geared towards people that have a very small range of mobility, some inflexibility, and a little bit of discomfort, in the joints. And just allow yourselves to relax into this as much as you can. Get comfortable with the discomfort. So we're going to go ahead and start on our belly, get right into it. So just come onto the belly and come into Sphinx pose. So you're going to bring the palms a little bit forward, elbows a little bit more forward than the shoulders, and allow the chest to be open. So begin to strengthen the erector spinae muscle, open the heart space here at the same time as we strengthen the lower back. And then just open the eyes here. So you're going to bring the left hand a little bit forward. Bring the right arm underneath the left. So if you've done thread the needle, this is a little different. It's not a twist. So you want to bring that right shoulder down to the earth, as square onto the mat as possible. Stretch the left arm forward. Bring the forehead down to the earth. So for some of you that are really, really tight, you might want to put a pillow here. If you have a pillow at home, if you have a block, anything to prop up to support the head from twisting open, do so. And then just allow yourself to settle in. So this is really, really beautiful for... I got a little technical issue happening here. This happens, guys. This happens. So this is a really beautiful practice for anyone that surfs, any type of athlete that has shoulders that are quite pronated, coming inwards. This allows us to open up, create space in the shoulders, and hopefully the scapula can drop down the back a little bit more. So just allow yourselves to settle in. Find that breath. Once you learn some of the Yin postures, you can just choose one area of the body that you really need to focus on, one area that's feeling very tight, and just allowing yourself to do that one posture each day for upwards of 6 minutes. So if you have really tight shoulders,
If you feel like you have a bit of a hunchback or a kyphotic curve in the upper back, this is a beautiful practice to do to lengthen those muscles. So begin to not only lengthen into the shoulder head, but we lengthen into the rhomboids, the trapezius, creating space between the scapula. So as we move through this practice today, decide what it is that you need to work on. And go ahead and just pick the head up. So we're going to move to the other side. Stretch the right arm forward. The left arm is going to go underneath. So again, we want to come down onto that left shoulder as much as we can. Drop the head and bring the right arm forward. So you can even press up a little bit with the chest. And bring the right fist right underneath the forehead if you need to rest your head down on this. So if you don't have a block, you don't have a blanket or a pillow, this is a great alternative. So for me, my left shoulder head is much, much more tight. I've had rotator cuff damage here. So it's quite difficult for me to not go into a twist. So if you feel that your chest does want to open to the right, try to really square the body down towards the earth. Both hips on the ground, forehead to the ground, and just kind of forcing a bit into that evenness, that levelness. And slowly come back up. So come up onto the forearms. And if I were in a longer class, I would do these poses about 2 or 3 times longer than we'll do today. So if there's one that really works for you, I would suggest doing it more, so spending more time in it. We're going to bend the left knee out to the left side here. You want to create a 90-degree bend in the left knee, toes flexed out. It's kind of like a half frog pose, or it is a half frog pose. And allow the head to look up first, so nice open chest. And then we're going to work on internal rotation and external rotation of the hip here. So lift the left heel off the ground, press the left knee into the earth, and try to press the left heel up towards the ceiling. So this is going to feel awkward at first, but we really want to begin to create more range of mobility here. So you're going to feel this pull around the hip a bit, really flex the toes, dorsiflexion towards the shins. And then set the right heel down. Try to keep a deeper bend in that right knee. Press into the left foot and lift the right knee up here. And then set it down. And just sink in here for a moment. If the head ever gets tired, you can make 2 fists in front of you and bring your forehead down to the fists. So always creating your own props to relax. And set the left leg back behind you. Hands to the earth, and we move out to the right side. So right knee out to the right side. Try to find that 90-degree bend. Toes flexing out. And the deeper that right knee is in line with the right hip, the deeper the hip opening is going to be. So elbows underneath the shoulders. And really try to press the right thigh bone into the ground. So there's an active motion happening here. Press into the right knee, lift the right heel up, press the right heel to the ceiling, press the right hip down. And set the right heel down onto the ground. Press the right foot in, lift the right knee for a moment, and then set it down. Straighten the right leg back behind you. Come onto the fingertips by the shoulders and press back to a child's pose. So let the knees go wide, set the hips back towards the heels, forehead to the earth. So to get a lateral stretch here, pick the chest up lightly, walk the hands over towards the left, let the chest come down, and maybe the right hand presses into the top of the left, forehead down. So let the right hip sink back, feel that length from the right pinky back to the right hip. So if you are very tight, very inflexible, and your hips are popping way off the ground, you can bring a pillow or a blanket between the hips and the feet to have a little bit more support. So always looking for a way to support yourself. Props are a great use. And come back through center, move over to the right side. So really drape the chest over the right thigh. Left palm on top of the right, forehead to the earth. Find length through the left side of the body as the left hip grounds back. And come back through center. Find a tabletop. Now to inhale, allow the belly to drop, look forward. On an exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. So find that fluid motion. Inhale, belly drops, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops. And exhale, round the spine. Come back to neutral. And we find a little bit more fluid movement. So bring the palms one palm forward, fingers out to the sides of the yoga mat. Bring the knees closer to each other. So for those of us that are really, really tight, this is going to be a bit uncomfortable at first, but just stay with me. Bring the right hip over to the right elbow, open the chest forward. Really press through the palms, keep the chest lifted, and you'll feel this through the side bodies. Move the hips all the way back towards the left. Come to the left elbow, open the chest. So really press into the palms so that we're not dumping into the shoulders. Open the heart space. Again, come all the way back around towards the right. Lean that right hip over as you open the chest. You'll feel this through the right side body. Sweep the hips all the way back towards the left. If the knees are in pain, put a blanket or a pillow underneath. And this time, let the belly drop through center. Press through the palms as if you were a seal. Nice open chest, full belly stretch. And you can just wiggle out a little bit here. And then make a big circle. Move to the right. Move to the left. All the way around. Move in the opposite direction. And the last time you come around, sit back towards the heels, child's pose. Bring the arms alongside the back of the body here, just to give your shoulders a little bit of space to relax. And slowly round the spine up to a seat onto the heels. And come up onto the knees. So we're going to come into camel. We want to find a bit more openness in the chest. So a lot of us are quite tight here. Tuck the toes under. Stand up nice and tall on the knees. And bring the hands to the lower back. On an inhale, open the chest. Press the chest up and just look up here. So not a big back bend, just look up. Keep breathing. Let the shoulder blades melt down the back. Let the chest be nice and open. And set the hips back down onto the heels. Keep those toes tucked. Bring the big toes together and sink back. So a lot of us have a lot of tightness along the deep front line and the superficial back line. So this starts in the toe extensors and the Achilles tendon here. So doing a stretch like this is going to be really uncomfortable for many of you. Very, very uncomfortable, but stay with it. Try to keep all the toes pointed underneath here. If you come into pain, not challenge, if you actually have pain, you can lean forward to release a little bit, but try to come back into it. So begin to feel that heat rise up through the tops of the feet, moving into the ankles. You're literally feeling that energy move up the myofascial networks. So you're feeling that connective tissue begin to warm. So that fuzzy connective tissue underneath the skin begins to warm and loosen the adhesions. So when we give up and we release, we also release the opportunity to create more length in these networks. So we want to allow the tissues to warm up, to expand before we contract them again. So stay with me here. Keep that heat coming in. Take 5 more full breaths. I know many of you probably want to turn the video off right now, but don't. Promise, it'll be good for you. Couple more breaths. Best things in life are usually hard at first, or scary. All right, come forward onto the fingers, pat the feet out, and then step back onto the heels. And bring the hands back behind you. Just lift the knees lightly. So we're just rocking onto the tops of the feet. If you have any ankle injuries, of course I don't want you to be doing this. You can just stay upright. And then come back onto the hands and knees. Find your tabletop position and press back to downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, another common misconception is that we need to have the legs straight. If you have very, very tight hamstrings, take the feet wider and take a bend into the knees. Really press through nice wide fingers. Press through the palms, lift up through the hips, and really press your chest back towards your thighs. So even with bent knees, that's perfectly fine. We want to work those heels down. For those of you, again, that are really, really tight, if your heels are way up, you can roll up the edge of the yoga mat and bring it right underneath the feet. So this is an option as well. If the feet are way up here, bring that support. Bring the pillow, bring the edge of the yoga mat, create support for yourself. Step the left forward to the outside of the left hand and come up onto the palms. Let that right hip drop back here. So we're not touching the right knee down yet. We're just letting the right hip drop down so that you feel the length up through the right groin as the left knee opens up. On an inhale, lift the hips up, round the upper back, the spine in. Straighten the left leg. On an inhale, bend the left knee, drop the right hip down, open the chest. Inhale, curl in, straighten the left leg, lifting up. Exhale, drop in. So it's cat and cow here, but with a lunge. On your exhale, round the upper back, straighten the left leg. Inhale, drop in. And exhale, round. Inhale. And exhale. And this time, inhale, lower all the way down, right knee to the ground, open the chest. Walk the hands a little bit forward. Maybe the left foot, you roll to the outer blade of the left foot so the left knee can open up. stay onto the palms or come down to the forearms if it feels good. Can rock from side to side a little bit here. And we begin to move into the groin, into the hip extensors. It's a very sensitive space. So don't push yourself to go far. If you need to stay on the palms, do so. If you need blocks underneath the palms, take those. Find a way to support yourself, but breathe. Be present. And once you arrive in the pose, let go of expectations or the need to fleet, to leave. And slowly come up onto the palms. Bend the right knee back behind you. For some of you, this is not going to feel right, so just keep the right leg extended. But if you want to try it out, bend the right knee, reach back with the left hand, open the chest. Press through the right palm to stay lifted. Open the heart space to the left. So deep quad stretch here into the right leg. And we do the other side. Let go of the right leg. Step the left foot back. And bring the right foot forward to the outside of the right hand. Again, keep that left knee lifted. Open the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, curl and straighten the right leg. You can even flex the right toes to the ceiling. Inhale, lower, open the chest. Bend the right knee. Exhale, round and straighten the right leg. Maybe flex the right toes to ceiling. Inhale, down. Exhale, round and come up. Again, inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. Set the left knee down. Stay on the palms or come down to the forearms. You can also work that right foot out to the right side if you'd like. Maybe moving from side to side, opening a bit more. And slowly come up onto the palms. Bend the left knee, reach back with the right hand, pull the left foot in, nice open chest. And let go of the left foot. Bring the right hand down, step back, downward facing dog. Walk halfway up the yoga mat. Bend the knees deeply, come onto the tiptoes, and just round the upper back over the knees here. Curling into a little ball. And come down to a seat. We're going to take butterfly pose. So bring the bottoms of the feet together and try to roll the bottoms of the feet up towards the sky. And just begin to flutter the knees here. So we're just assisting in that hip opening, taking an active stretch here. And then stop. Inhale. Then exhale, slowly move the chest forward. If you're feeling really tight in the hips, you're not going to go too far forward. That's completely fine. Keep the spine long. Just leaning the upper body weight forward will allow the hips to naturally open as the feet press together. So press the feet together, let the hips open, and let gravity do the work. If you can go lower, as you fold in, keep the spine straight. Press the thighs open, allowing the knees to drop in a little bit more. Keep the cervical spine long. So slight activation of the neck if you're coming down lower. And slowly come up to a seat. Nice, just cross-legged seat here. You're going to bring your right hand to the middle of the back, palm facing out. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right tricep. Sitting up nice and tall. And just lean your head over towards the left. You can tilt the chin up towards the ceiling. And you'll feel this into the right side of the neck, moving down from the neckline into the arm. So if you have any anxiety in the neck, which so many of us do, especially if we're sitting at a desk all day or driving, there can be a lot of tightness here that doesn't allow us to really twist and find that range of mobility in the shoulder. It's a really great stretch to do. And again, if any of these poses really hit something with you, a deep sensation, maybe of discomfort, that generally means that's the pose that you need to practice. So I invite you after this practice, after this video, these are just a couple of flavors of yin, to take one of these poses that really identifies different stresses in your physical body and incorporating it into your daily practice. So waking up, spending 5 minutes doing it. Come back to center, switch sides. Left hand to the back, palm facing out. Right hand to the outside of the left tricep. Lean towards the right shoulder. Let the head drop over. The chin can face up or down. Really, it just matters where your tension is. So always exploring here. Come back through center. Inhale, reach up. Bend the right elbow, right hand between the scapula, left hand to the right elbow. Open the chest through the center. And shut the eyes down so we get a nice heart opening here and also a shoulder opening. Lean towards the left. Keep the right hip grounded. Look to the right. And come back through center, switch sides. Left hand between the scapula, right hand to the left elbow. Open the chest, get the head through center. Lean towards the right, look to the left, and really plug the left hip down here. Come back through center, hands resting on the knees. On an inhale, pull the chest forward, look up. On an exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale forward. And exhale, round. Begin to find any fluid movement. You can make circles with the chest. You can even move the neck a bit. Any natural movement, switching direction if you're taking circles. So it might look funny Might feel a little awkward at first, but we just want to really tune into those areas of tension in the body. And come back up to neutral. And take a moment to ground here at the end of practice. Let both palms shine up. So just receiving here, allowing yourself to receive cooling and grounding energy. And bring the thumbs, both thumbs, to the occipital ridge, right behind the ear, that little ridge line at the back of the head. Another fingers up to the top of the head. And just pulling energy up, sitting up nice and tall. Light pressure at the occipital ridge at the base of the cranium here. And just continue to breathe nicely here, nice and fluid. And hands come to heart center. Take a deep breath in, deep sigh out of the mouth. Thumbs between third eye center. Bowing down towards Mother Earth and towards yourself. Love, gratitude, and light for showing up first time, second time, 1000th time. Rising back up, opening the eyes. We say namaste. So, thank you guys so much for showing up for yourselves. Wish I could see all of your beautiful faces, but yes, yin has been very nourishing and healing for me, and I'm really happy to share it with others. I'll be putting out a lot more videos that touch on specific areas of tension in the body, so be on the lookout for those on my YouTube page, youtube.com/Echo Giselle Widmer. And if you're looking for any trainings or retreats in the new year and forward, you can find information on my website at echoflowyoga.com. But be curious, stay open, stay present, stay vulnerable, and can't wait to see you on the yoga mat again. Ciao.